Cowboys Nation gather around, because what just unfolded inside the walls of the Star is the kind of breaking news that shakes not only the team, not only the fanbase, but the entire NFL landscape. The Dallas Cowboys have officially confirmed that Trevon Diggs is out, and this isn't one of those minor situations where a player tweaks something and the team quietly monitors it. No, this development has exploded across the organization with urgency, confusion, and a stunning level of seriousness that no one saw coming. Trevon Diggs, the Cowboys' all-pro cornerback, the ball hawk, the anchor of the secondary, the guy who changes the flow of a game with a single play, is suddenly unavailable indefinitely, and the moment this news hit the locker room, the coaching staff, and the front office, the Cowboys made a drastic and shocking decision that is now sending shockwaves throughout the NFL world. You can feel the tension, you can feel the emotion, and you can definitely feel the ripple effect that this is going to have on the season. And let me tell you, this isn't one of those situations where the Cowboys can simply shrug and move on. No, this is one of those moments where an entire franchise is forced to pivot instantly, aggressively, and decisively. What happened to Trevon Diggs, while still not fully detailed publicly, was serious enough that the Cowboys immediately shifted into emergency mode. Teammates were reportedly stunned, staff members were scrambling, and multiple analysts were already calling it one of the most disruptive surprises of the Cowboys season. One moment Diggs was on track, practicing, gearing up for the upcoming matchup, and the next, his availability was thrown into chaos. And that's the thing, this wasn't some slow, developing concern. This was sudden, sharp, and completely unexpected. When you lose a player like Diggs, you're not simply down a starter, you're down a player who erases half the field, who offensive coordinators game plan around, who takes pressure off your pass rush, who changes the entire identity of your defense. Without him, wide receivers get more comfortable, quarterbacks get more confident, and the margin for error becomes razor thin. And look, let's call it what it is, the Cowboys' defense this year is supposed to be the backbone of the team. The pride, the identity. They have invested in speed, aggression, turnovers, and suffocating coverage. Losing Trevon Diggs is like removing the engine from a sports car. You can still push it forward, but it won't move the same way. And the Cowboys knew that. They knew how big this was. Which is why, according to multiple internal reactions, the Cowboys front office didn't wait even a moment to begin reshaping their defensive plans. Almost instantly after Diggs was ruled out, the Cowboys executed a drastic roster decision that most fans didn't expect this early in the season. The team shifted players around the secondary, promoted depth pieces into starting roles, and began preparing younger players for responsibilities they weren't supposed to shoulder this soon. Reports indicate that Dallas has already begun exploring outside options, reaching out to potential veteran signings, evaluating possible trades, and restructuring the depth chart in real time. And you know what that means? It means the Cowboys recognized immediately that this wasn't just a player injury, this was a situation that could alter the trajectory of their season if they didn't respond fast. And respond they did. Coaches began adjusting the defensive scheme, preparing Darren Bland, Jordan Lewis, and even rookies for expanded roles. You could practically feel the urgency pressing down on the building. The Cowboys don't want to waste a year where their defense was built to contend. They don't want to let one injury derail what could be a deep playoff push or even a Super Bowl run. But make no mistake, the decision to rearrange the entire defensive backfield this quickly was a staggering move. Fans across social media are split down the middle. Some say the Cowboys front office is doing exactly what a championship-bound team should do: adapt, react, evolve. They're saying that this decision shows urgency, responsibility, and accountability. But then you have the other half of the fanbase, and they're angry. They're asking why the Cowboys weren't better prepared, why they didn't have deeper veteran experience available behind Diggs, why the team always seems one injury away from disaster in the secondary. And honestly, both sides make valid points. For years, analysts have said the Cowboys' secondary depth wasn't built to withstand major injuries. And today, that prediction feels eerily accurate. But here's the twist: the Cowboys aren't done. As of right now, there is growing belief that the Cowboys might pursue another major move, not just the internal reshuffling we're already seeing. The Cowboys have draft picks. They have cap room. They have motivation. And they know their window is now this season, this roster, this defense, this opportunity. This is not the time to sit back and hope things work themselves out. This is the time to act. And the Cowboys front office knows it. Meanwhile, on the field, the pressure is shifting. Micah Parsons and the defensive line are now under even greater pressure to create chaos, to compensate for the sudden vulnerability in the secondary. Without Diggs patrolling the back end, quarterbacks are going to take shots they normally wouldn't dare throw. Offensive coordinators are going to test the Cowboys' depth, test their replacements, and test their composure. That means the pass rush has to hit even harder, even faster, even more consistently. On the other side of the ball, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys' offense must elevate their production. They can't lean on the defense to generate turnovers at the same volume as before. They can't expect short fields. They can't expect momentum-shifting interceptions. This will demand more execution, more scoring, more responsibility, and fewer mistakes from the offense as a whole. And when you zoom out, the playoff implications become even more serious. The NFC race is tight. Every game matters. Every injury matters. Every weakness becomes a target. And losing a star like Trevon Diggs, especially at a position as crucial as cornerback, changes the Cowboys' ability to compete with elite passing offenses. Teams like the Eagles, the 49ers, the Lions, and even the Packers suddenly gain new opportunities. The Cowboys' margin for error shrinks drastically, and the coaching staff knows they need to adjust the scheme, rotations, and game planning immediately to compensate. But let's step back from the team for a moment and talk about Trevon Diggs himself, because this situation is devastating for him on a personal level. Diggs is a competitor, a warrior, a player who gives everything he has on every snap, and to see his season, or at least a large part of it, jeopardized like this is heartbreaking. But if there's one thing we know about Trevon Diggs, it's that he is resilient. He has battled adversity before. He has climbed, fought, improved, and pushed his way into becoming one of the best defensive playmakers in the entire league. And he will fight back from this too. That's who he is. Meanwhile, fans have erupted across every platform imaginable. Some are devastated, some are optimistic, some are panicking, some are ready to move forward with the next man up mentality. Some are calling for a blockbuster trade. Some want a veteran corner signed immediately. And many fans just want clarity. They want assurance. They want direction. As for analysts, the reactions are just as polarized. Some believe the Cowboys can survive this injury if they make the right moves, adjust the scheme, and rely on the depth they've built. Others believe this significantly damages their playoff chances and raises serious questions about whether the Cowboys can maintain their defensive dominance without their top playmaker in the secondary. And as all of this unfolds, the weight of this moment becomes clear. The Cowboys' response to this adversity will reveal everything about who they are as a team. Will they fold? Will they panic? Will they crumble? Or will they rise, fight, and rally behind a new defensive identity? The next few weeks will define the Cowboys' season, maybe even their future. And now the question shifts from what happened to Diggs to what will the Cowboys do next? And that question is going to dominate the conversation until the front office makes its next major move. But for now, Cowboys Nation, the reality is simple. The Cowboys just faced a massive blow,